Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by FanDuel. It's Monday, April 20th, 2026. I'm Jay Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Ayo.
Ayo. Over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is.
JD.
Here we are. Whole lot of NBA playoff basketball to talk about. No small talk today. Too many series to break down and discuss. And we're going to do that by overreacting a little by playing It's Just One Game, but yeah. Forgot we had this sick intro. So intense when the playoffs get here.
Game.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all 8 series here on today's No Dunks podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe, 5-star ratings and reviews. Trey Kirby, we're starting in the Western Conference. We'll do those series first. We'll do the East later. Let's go Denver, Minnesota. You get us started.
It's just one playoff game, but the Timberwolves can't stop Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, and I say that because they did a great job, and these guys both still had massive games in game one. If I told Chris Finch and Joe Mandy that Jamal Murray is going to go 7 for 22 from the field, that Nikola Jokic is going to have 5 turnovers, they're saying, sign me up.
Yeah.
We did pretty good on the defensive end. Of course, that means that Jamal Murray had 35 and 7 and Jokic had 25, 13 and 11. The Nuggets never trailed in the second half of this game, but it was still pretty tight. Yeah. Still felt very competitive. The Nuggets could never put the Timberwolves away. I thought a key stretch, Denver up by 2, about 6.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Jokic hits that tough and one leaner on Gobert, kind of drives left, gets into his body, flails to the left, chucks it up, drops in nicely. Then on the defensive end, Minnesota tries to get it into Gobert, bounces off his shin. One of the worst offensive moments for Rudy Gobert in a really good game. Yep. Goes the other way. Somebody misses a three-pointer and Jokic just tips it in. Boop. Simple stuff. Couple of easy plays by him. Gave the Nuggets some breathing room, but still 2 minutes left, a 5-point game. Timberwolves almost get the steal off of Jokic twice. Gets deflected down low in the post. Almost gets stolen again. Turns into a Jamal Murray half-court heave. Barely grazes the rim, but the Nuggets get the offensive rebound. Murray gets the ball out past the three-point line, throws an absolute fastball to Aaron Gordon for a dunk. Just very, very small margins in this game, and Murray and Jokic made a lot of plays in the fourth quarter when the Nuggets absolutely needed them. We thought this was going to be a great first-round series. It looks like it's going to be, but I got to be a little nervous if I'm the Timberwolves because I do think both Murray and Jokic can play better, and they were massive problems in game one.
Yeah, is this a good sign or bad sign for the Wolves? That it's a competitive game, and they did some things right, but they still lost it. I'm going back and forth here this morning on how I feel about that. What about you?
Yeah, it's a tough question. The little teeny tiny things, as you said, the small margin for errors, definitely hurt. Just that offensive rebound there, or when Ayo Dosunmu went back and was able to challenge a shot, and nobody else was able to come back and grab that board because he challenged that shot and there was a loose ball and he had to yell at everybody, those teeny tiny things factored in because those guys are going to score a bunch of points and they still couldn't win. Yeah, I do think it's more of a, oh crap, I don't know if we're going to win this kind of thing. I thought if I was going to drop it's just one game, but I'd throw in the difference was Bruce Brown for the Denver Nuggets.
Bruce was good.
They needed him desperately. They're down double digits after the first quarter. And it's because Aaron Gordon, Cam Johnson, Christian Brown didn't help out Jokic and Murray. And then here comes Bruce. First possession of the second quarter, splash is a 3. Then he gets a steal, one of his 5 steals in this game for Bruce Brown off the bench. This is the exact reason why they went back and got the guy who helped them win the championship for that motor to get it going. And that's why he finished this game, essentially, because he was handsy. He had 5 steals and was able to finish the game. And he was part of one of Rudy Gobert's ugly moments too, where he went behind the back, the back pass up top. You don't need to do that, Rudy.
You don't need to do that.
Yeah, so they turned it around. So yeah, just a bunch of key stuff I think Minnesota screwed up, but it was lucky I think that Bruce was there because the supporting guys weren't doing it. And then Aaron Gordon came alive in the third quarter and was awesome. Yeah. And they came alive to close it out. Just teeny tiny things they didn't do, I thought.
But Denver shot under 30% from deep. You said, I mean, you're pointing out the mistakes he had, but Gobert defended Jokic as well as you can ask anyone to defend one of the greatest players we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Aaron Gordon was in foul trouble. There was that as well. And the Wolves still lose this. You know, sort of handedly at the end. It wasn't even like a one possession game. That's just a bad sign. Still should be a competitive series. You're very concerned probably about the Anthony Edwards here, how healthy he is. He had moments where he looked pretty explosive, some great finishes inside, but he's playing through obvious pain there. Listed as questionable on the preliminary injury report with the right knee injury maintenance, but he goes 22 points, 9 boards, 7 assists. But I just felt like you didn't really feel like an Anthony Edwards impact on this game, despite a decent line and despite some nice finishes inside. But they need him, obviously, to be lights out. He needs to be like maybe the best player in the series for them to pull this off.
Yeah, it's funny because he led the Timberwolves in scoring, assists, and shot attempts. So he was doing the most out there.
Yeah.
And I thought he looked pretty good, but like you're saying, at times definitely looked gimpy. And this was like the most vanilla looks you could get from Denver. Like if Edwards starts turning it on, they'll get more exotic with the coverages they're throwing at him. But they were basically like loading up, showing him a lot of bodies inside, but no double teams. They weren't blitzing him on pick and rolls. Like this is standard looks for the Nuggets. So you know they can do a little bit more. And the Timberwolves are going to absolutely need more from Anthony Edwards. I thought Gordon did a pretty good job of taking Randall out of the game until the third quarter into the fourth quarter when Randall started making some plays. Io was really good for the Timberwolves. I thought Gobert was pretty solid offensively, went 8 of 9 from the field. Had a couple of dumb turnovers, but still, if he plays that well on the offensive end with what he was given on the defensive end, you're very, very happy. Just got to get more from Edwards, got to get more from Randall as well.
Yeah, and Dante DiVincenzo was willing to just splash and just ready to shoot that three, and he hit 4 threes, and I think that gives Anthony Edwards just a little bit more space, and it is important to see how they change up that defense if Anthony Edwards gets going. But he's out there on the bike during breaks trying to keep that knee loose, whatever he's doing there, because he ain't 100%. I mean, that's fairly clear, but they almost pulled it out.
The Nuggets, you sort of alluded to this, Tass. You're talking about Bruce Brown at least. They survived the non-Jokic minutes there in the first half, which I thought was pretty key. A big part of it, 3-pointers from Bruce Brown. Tim Hardaway Jr. had one. Murray had his little flurry there where he went nuts. I think he scored 8 points. And so they didn't just survive. They got back into the game because they were down, early there. A lot of it was DiVincenzo hitting a bunch of threes. But the lineup of Murray, Brown, Hardaway Jr., Cam Johnson, and Valanciunas, they outscored Minnesota 16-10 over that little stretch to get back in the game when Jokic checked back in. We're always going to be keeping our eye on these non-Jokic minutes, like how well the Nuggets hold up. Not only just in this series, but obviously moving forward. They're going to have to play even and sometimes maybe even outplay the other opponent here to give them a chance to win the title again.
Again, I think that's exactly why they went and got Bruce to do the exact same thing as he did in 2023 and to turn those minutes around in the second quarter when those other guys aren't working it. I mentioned it. Aaron Gordon, bad to start. Cam Johnson, bad to start. Christian Brown, bad to start. But that's why you can say, all right, Cam Johnson not really clicking here. We'll throw out Bruce Brown to finish the game, essentially, just to have another guy out there. But that guy has been their motor, although I thought Jokic was the motor in this game, just yelling at people. He was doing some good yelling in this game.
Oh, my God, was
really
he
good yelling.
What's more fun to yell if you're a crowd, Bruce or Luke? I know they're very similar, but do you have a preference?
Yeah.
You either Bruce or Luke. You like the buh or the look?
Well, so it's a really good question.
Tough to answer. Huh?
Listen, in game one, which we'll get to, game one of the playoffs, it was Cavs, Raptors. There was a lot of Strus.
Oh, yes, true. Wow.
You got Strus, Bruce, Luke.
See, Strus would be third. On my finalists, the NBA just announced the finalists for best names to yell or sort of howl in a crowd. It's Bruce, it's Luke, and it's Strus.
What about a Deuce that they throw out?
Deuce too.
Deuce McBride.
Damn. He got snubbed.
He got snubbed.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we'll get the poll going. Bruce, Luke, Strus, or Deuce. Any other thoughts, though, on this one and moving forward? Always love after a game one. It's like, especially in a game where you think, or a series you think is going to be competitive, it's like, well, now Minnesota feels like they have to win game two. And the good side for them is, despite like a couple things like maybe going their way and still losing, Denver always wins game ones.
Yep.
And then they usually shit the bed in game two. So, maybe that happens again here. But anything else to watch for in game two, TK?
I just think we're going to see more from Anthony Edwards. It was kind of weird to read John Krasinski's report after this game over at The Athletic. He's basically saying there were times this season when the sparkle went out of Anthony Edwards' eye. I don't want to see that.
No.
I want to see that sparkle in that eye.
Are you saying there was a lack of sparkle in game one?
Well, I think he was saying like the sparkle was surprisingly dimmed.
I think a big part of it was like a real injury.
Yeah, like, whoa, he's
human.
Usually when Ant goes down, it's like he's hurt for one play.
Yes.
And he's actually been hurt for a month here,
Yeah.
which is kind of unusual. That affects your sparkle. Absolutely. But I assume we're going to get a 100-watt grin, maybe 1,000-watt grin, 100-watt grin. Fine. Yeah.
It's
Standard.
fine.
You can get it at Home Depot. But this guy is going to the professional lighting store and bringing his grin back for game 2 because it's not a must-win game, but it's a would very like to win it game.
Yeah. To add into the grin on the Wolves side, I think Jaden McDaniels needs a little more grin, a little less missing shots, really. He's the one who kind of started a fight in this game. He got that tech underneath the hoop. He just can be better than 0 for 4 from 3. He's always the X factor, 100% of the time, and he responds to bad games. He can do that in game number 2, and you're totally right about Denver kicking ass in game 1 and then, dropping off a little bit. It's the famous Steve Kerr saying, teams win game 1, and game 2 is the one that the road team can steal.
Right.
So we'll see what they do.
We will indeed. Spencer Jones, our guy, who came on No Dunks earlier this year, back and he was playing at a 3, and obviously he's out there for defensive purposes. I thought he gave him something, but yeah, when you look at the Wolves, you're going to need a little bit more from Naz Reid, who I thought was pretty rough in this one. You said Jaden McDaniels already 6 of 14, and Julius Randle. The box score is not like bad, but there's so many. It's just classic up down Julius Randle. There are little stretches where you're like, all right, here we go. And he was really great last postseason. This game, not much of an impact. So for them to even be, I guess, in the game, despite what have I just all said, is something. But it feels like we all took Denver in this series.
Oh, yeah.
You thought about this being the one where you would have maybe flipped the other way from Minnesota.
Yeah.
But
Well, we went through which team would you actually go back and say, yeah, maybe there'll be an upset in this series. I think it was the Bulls out of anybody. We literally picked all chalk. Nobody picked an upset.
Well, no, we took the Rockets as the 5th seed.
Okay.
You know.
Luka.
A lot of chalk, though. You're not wrong.
Yeah. So I thought this one could be the team that just made the Western Conference Finals twice. Could be the upset, but I'm still feeling good about Denver, obviously.
Yeah. And, it's nice to see playoff Jamal Murray is here sort of early. 7 to 22, not great, but 30 points, 7 assists, 5 boards, and the 16 for 16 at the free throw line. And he had that crazy finish where they didn't even know what to call it on the broadcast, where it's like he sort of did like a weird flip on the other side of the rim and put like this insane spin on it. That was wild. And he didn't even have the 3-ball going. So, he's going to keep shooting it. He's never worried about that.
He looked quite comfortable and in control for the majority of the night. And he's got a great layup package. We saw it. I feel like the bubble was the coming out party for his layup package. People were saying he had better layups than Michael Jordan back then.
Wow. Is that what he hit he definitely has a 360 layup in a postseason game. That may have been bubble time.
It could have been bubble time. Yep.
Bubble time.
Yeah.
And he had a great defensive possession against Anthony Edwards in the third quarter when the Nuggets, turned it up enough. Basically play like a 24-second shot clock defense against Anthony Edwards, where Edwards just tried to do it all himself and force an offensive foul. Good stuff from Jamal.
All right, let's move over to the Lakers Rockets. Tass, where do you want to start with this one?
I'll start with this outrageous take.
Yeah.
Luke is better than Luka.
What?
Luke is greater than Luka.
Oh.
Luke Kennard is greater than Luka Doncic. Obviously, that ain't true, but can Luka shoot 5 of 5 from 3? Don't think so. Although I will say, as far as stat lines go, ESPN threw this out while Luke was doing the post game. His talk during the interview, it was 27 points, 9 for 13 from the field, 5 for 5 from 3. That's good. 4 of 6 from the free throw line. You don't got to see that. That's just a dirty move. Luke Kennard missed 2 free throws. Just get rid of it. I will think what he did really, really well was just do exactly what JJ Redick wanted of this guy, and don't dribble a lot. I think that was extremely important in how good he was. You saw it all day, like the LeBron pass just to get him going, where he could just drive with his right hand from up top, I thought, out of the timeout from LeBron, again, just inbound to him. And he just took open threes. There's this was a bad sign for the Rockets that his first three was wide open. His second three wide open. And that's what got him going to hit all 5 of those threes, 4 of them in the second half. He's just making the right pass as well to Rui for a 3. And he had that one play where he only made one dribble from the 3-point line, just a push ahead. Again, just had to dribble it once to get in for a layup attempt. That's just good sign from Luke Kennard. Don't dribble all that much, man. Just shoot where you have to, just doing the right thing. And that just really helped out the Lakers. They're just playing to exactly what JJ Redick had in mind. Perfect stuff from that guy. He's not better than Luka Doncic, but in this instance,
this is the spirit of the it's just one game, but though there's supposed to be wild overreaction, so that's fine. Luke greater than Luka.
Yeah.
I love it. As the Lakers won 107-98 over Houston, who were without Kevin Durant.
Yes,
Durant-less,
that's
which
why
was
it's pretty
nowhere.
important.
That was wild. Yeah, he got injured in practice with the knee.
I might have been willing to take the Lakers had I known Kevin Durant wasn't going to be playing. And I guess we'll see how long he's going to be out. But the Rockets didn't have much offense on this night because you say the Lakers played just the way that JJ wanted. I do not think so. JJ said no turnovers this game, no offensive rebounds. The Lakers turned the ball over 20 times and gave up 21 offensive rebounds. He said, Luke Kennard, there's no Luke out there. There's no Reeves out there. We need you to get up 8 or 9 3-pointers. He said, no, how about 5? But I'll make all 5 of them.
Good.
And I actually thought the play when he dribbled a ton was the most indicative of the way he was playing. It was a fast break. Kennard gets cut off going down the left side of the court, just dribbles it out and takes a 3-pointer from the left wing. When have you ever seen him this aggressive looking for his shot? He didn't get to the number that JJ wanted, but he was playing loose and free out there. He was looking to score, and that allowed LeBron to play basically as a game manager. He had 13 assists to 2 turnovers. The entire starting lineup took 10 or more shots. He was just giving everybody a chance to attack whichever mismatches they had. It was usually Reed Shepherd. It would be Marcus Smart getting into Reed Shepherd's body, putting him underneath the basket, scoring inside. It'd be Rui Hachimura posting up on Reed Shepherd. LeBron was kind of only looking to score when he was in the post, was doing a great job scoring when he was getting the ball in the post. But I thought this was a not well-played game by the Lakers. They were kind of saved by Luke Kennard. So to me, this is really, really bad loss for the Rockets.
Yes.
It was pretty close through the third quarter, and then their offense just completely fell apart. So the Lakers didn't have to play great and still handled the Rockets.
Yeah, the Rockets' half-court offense with Kevin Durant has been pretty rough this year. Without him, it's hopeless. I mean, you take away their second-chance points, take away their fast break points, it'd be like LA 96-64. Like, that's what it would have looked like, something like that, because they could not score in a half-court set, or at least shooting the ball. Houston shot 37.6%. Şengün missed 13 of his 19 shots. Reed Shepherd missed 14 of his 20. Amen Thompson missed 11 of his 18, and Jabari Smith Jr. missed 9 of his 14. Like, these are the main guys, the main pieces here for Houston. And they're still in this game because it's not like the Lakers were lighting it up. But, man, it's bad, and you got to pray if you're a Rockets fan that KD is coming back right away. I mean, for game 2, I would say. I just don't think they can score enough without him.
Their offense didn't seem like it. No, no, you could see they almost looked like they were over dribbling, like looking for what do we do here. Kevin's not here. It just doesn't feel the same, and it didn't feel the same watching them. Yeah, I thought even Amen Thompson guilty just of over dribbling. It felt like what are we doing here? Where are we looking? And they'd try and find Reed, who had a bad night shooting the 3, 6 of 20 overall. Needed him just to hit shots. It just felt like, and these are the times when Şengün should just go off, right? Just take it over. Didn't happen.
He did not.
He did not. He had a terrible game. I thought really great performance from DeAndre Ayton. He was totally ready for this one. 19 points, 11 rebounds, and he was just competing with Şengün. Like, he's got size and quickness over Şengün. Şengün has the strength advantage for sure, but Ayton was moving his feet, forcing Şengün to try and shoot over the top, and it looked like month 1 of the season to me for the Rockets, the way they were approaching the offensive end. It was kind of like, Şengün, can you beat your guy one-on-one? He couldn't for the most part against the Lakers in game 1, and outside of that, like, they didn't really have any other sort of fallback plan to go to.
No. Back to Luke Kennard, who got to the game-high 27 points, firing his way there. I learned over the weekend that my next-door neighbor played basketball against Luke Kennard in grade 3 and 4. And I got the story. And you won't believe this. Luke Kennard, when he was in grade 3 and 4, he was amazing. So
I believe it.
I guess it was in Ohio. And he was so good that they were implementing box and 1 defenses on him. So they just had the team set up in the sort of
grade 3 or
2
grade
and
4?
2. Yeah, in very young ages. I guess competitive basketball,
Box
of course.
and 1.
Yeah, and my neighbor was one of the guys just tasked with trying to shadow Luke Kennard.
He was a 1.
They would score like 40 points total in these games, and Luke Kennard would have like 37 of them.
That's a lot of points for a 3rd and 4th grade.
Yeah, it was whatever. Yeah, it was something like that. And I was like, he said, like they're all bummed. Like, of course, like you think when you're invincible at that age, and I'm sure they did have a good team, whatever. But their coach, he called it. He's like, "Don't worry, kids. That kid's going to be a professional basketball player." And they were like, "No way, Luke Kennard, the Nard dog, not a chance." And this guy called it. This coach saw it early. He's like, "Nah, he is. Trust me, we cannot stop him. Our entire team can't stop him." So anyway, that was fun. I learned that while watching the Hawks-Knicks game. And then we went right into the Lakers game. It was like, Nard dog's going nuts.
Hey, the Nard dog.
Don't feel so bad. You couldn't stop him either. The Rockets can't either.
Outscored LeBron in high school.
Damn good. Didn't they say on the broadcast?
40 a game.
Didn't they say on the broadcast, greatest three-point shooter, one of the greatest three-point shooters ever, or something like that?
They said that a lot.
Had people reacting on Twitter. I saw on social media like, "What, Luke Kennard? Give me a break."
Got great percentages.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like technically, yeah, he is. Now, come on. His biggest fault is he doesn't shoot enough three-pointers. But
And he wasn't trying to shoot enough in this game, and that's why he's 5 for 5. The first 2 wide open. I bet this guy's defense was better than the Lakers' defense out there.
Shout out to
They're
Justin.
super wide open, so that's why he felt comfortable getting into his last 3 that he took and made all 3. It started to feel like, whoa, this guy's taking over because he was already in a groove because he had 2 wide open shots. Ask Justin.
Yeah.
Ask Justin how many dribbles he made. Call Luke Kennard, because I don't want to watch the video again, but Luke Kennard barely dribbled the ball in this game.
Klay Thompson,
he was dialed in. He had that one play from the 3-point line where he had to push ahead dribble, throw it ahead. He only had to take 1 dribble to get all the way to the rim. The guy was dialed in. And his dialed in is don't dribble too much. And then so that's why I thought he was really good in buying into JJ Redick. Just come around these pin downs, man. Just don't dribble, man. And yeah, the Rockets, I thought, of course, the offense looks really weird without Kevin Durant, disappointed, but I thought their defense too, just not getting out to guys enough in this game.
Yeah, not really. They didn't really approach this like a playoff game.
Agreed,
and maybe
yeah.
a part of that was, the sudden news that Durant wasn't playing after getting banged up in practice. And look, I think he was pissed off that they didn't clear him to go and all that. But yeah, they just were approaching this like a regular season game. It's like, guys,
Yeah.
I know it's game 1 here and some feeling out, but let's go. They need to have a huge, quite frankly, dominant game 2. I'd like to see, send a message, get right back into the series. Because then you get into this possibility, you're like, ooh, can the Lakers survive long enough here to get a Luka back, to get an Austin Reeves back? Yeah, right. Doesn't seem as far-fetched here suddenly after one game, but good win. And I like what you said, LeBron as a game manager there. That was textbook LeBron.
I was coming in, I was like, LeBron can't have a feel-out game 1. That's like a guaranteed thing he likes to do.
It's true.
See how you're playing me. I'll make the right play. And then we'll really focus in on game 2 going forward for the rest of the series. He got to have a feel out game 1. And he was like, okay, if you're going to one-on-one guard me in the post, I'll score every time.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do anything else, I'll get the ball to whoever's open. And that's exactly how he played. So we'll see how LeBron continues to manage this game, to manage this series. He understands how to the pacing of a series better than anybody because he's played the most games of literally anybody. He's seen everything you could possibly throw at him. So game 2 should be different, and LeBron, I'm sure, will be ready. Yep. And it feels like they're in the driver's seat. I was like, I can maybe change my pick on this one.
Yeah.
Sees one game, instantly doubts himself.
Yeah. He just did what he had to do. That block on Amen Thompson when he needed to have every single ounce of his energy come out. He did that, but he was just making the right passes all night long.
All right, Thunder 119, Suns 84. It's just one game, but OKC may not lose a quarter to the Phoenix Suns. I really probably should have put it like OKC may not lose a non-garbage time quarter to the Phoenix Suns, because could I see them losing a fourth quarter where they're up 35 heading into it or up 30? Yeah, and that probably will happen. But man, pretty impressive start here to the Thunder's attempt to defend their title. They looked good in game 1 last year. You might remember they blew out the Grizzlies by 51. So the Suns did a better job, but that obviously turned into a sweep. It feels like this one could be too. The Thunder joined the Lakers in 86 and 87 as the only teams in NBA history to open consecutive postseasons with wins by at least 35 points. And a big thing here in game 1 was the Thunder converting a bunch of turnovers into a bunch of points. That's their MO, and they did that, and they play physical, and I think in some instances the officials were allowing them to play quite physical, and maybe it was a bit of a shock to the Suns, and this one got out of control in a hurry here. Not a surprise. Everybody, I think, I've seen taking OKC in a sweep or 5, So, according to plan, but this was pretty impressive still nonetheless.
Oh, yeah. I'm still taking the Suns to win one game. I still believe that they could do it. This obviously was terrible. The whole thing. Last year, OKC started the playoffs incredible as well against Memphis Grizzlies. They won by 50. You play on Friday to get into this thing. We've been waiting here at home to destroy guys on every single possession. Their switchability out on the perimeter was really good against guys like Jalen Green, especially, who we saw last year in the playoffs have a bad game 1, came back against Golden State Warriors with the Houston Rockets, had a monstrous game 2. Maybe he can do that. Those deficits, those wins by the Thunder last year against the Grizzlies, they did get reduced in game 2, 3, and 4. They had 3 and 4. They had some close ones, so we'll see what the Suns can bounce back with. We'll see if Jalen Green can bounce back. It was awesome to see Jalen Williams look really, really, really good. A guy we questioned all year. Yeah. His handle looks really, really good. I won't make excuses for the Suns, but it would help to have Mark Williams be playing to help just size-wise. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet are going to kick their ass. It's great. It would be helpful to see Grayson Allen be playing basketball and Jordan Goodwin not to leave after the first half. So there's some stuff there, but
I'm with you. They're already completely outclassed, and they're not helped out by those 3 guys, especially with Goodwin tweaking his left calf in the second quarter and having to exit. And Grayson Allen's in uniform, but DNP, he's injured, and then the Mark Williams of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Mark. Yeah, Grayson Allen, they said, is like a break in case of emergency kind of guy, but this one's over. 20 stocks is comical. 13 steals, 7 blocks for the Thunder, turned into 34 points. And it was just a run out after run out after run out.
Yeah. And
I'm happy with the sweep in this one. Maybe the Suns get hot at home. But I think that OKC could even win that game.
Yeah, it's probably. It might be a close game if Dylan Brooks hits 7 threes and Jalen Green hits 6 and Booker gets to the line, and even all that, it could still be a close game. And you could lose. Yeah,
I believe in Jordan Knott and the Suns for just not giving away these plays at key times going here into game 2, 3, and 4. You just can't do it. You hear everybody say we got to finish off the quarter well, and to see that inbound to Chet, that bomb to Chet, for Chet to have a turnaround 3 at the end of the first quarter, you just can't allow that. Yeah. So you see it from young teams make these mistakes. It happened to the Blazers. Keldon Johnson did the same thing at the end of the first quarter. Spurs Blazers that we'll get to. That can happen, I believe, in Ott recovering, bouncing back to steal a game at home. Because the Thunder didn't smack the Grizzlies last year. We all remember, they won the friggin' title. We don't remember that they only won by 6 and only won by 2 in games 3 and games 4 against the Grizzlies. So here we'll see if the Suns can do it.
I guess we made a mistake on Friday when we did our instigator draft. Now, we were a little concerned about the Suns' chances of making it into the playoffs, so no one drafted our guy Dylan Brooks in the instigator draft, and he took about 5 minutes to pick up
that was awesome.
A flagrant foul with a smack to the face, and he was immediately on the board, but nobody's got him.
Nope.
So I unless I've missed one, I don't think any of us scored points over the weekend. I don't think
so.
Yeah.
0 points.
0 points scored in the instigator draft.
When I thought about it again, I thought it would be great if somebody took Ime Udoka of the Rockets.
Oh, wow.
That guy wanted to fight.
Yeah.
He wanted to fight Tyler Ford. He got into it with he literally was calling him names. It's easy to read his lips and what he was saying about Tyler Ford. He was just saying, pussy. He was calling. He was literally
easy.
Hey, what?
You just kill me because you self-censor yourself all the time, and so then out of nowhere he drops a hard P on a Monday morning.
I wish it was out of nowhere.
Amazing.
The man literally was easily, visibly saying to the guy, the interaction was over. He could have just easily just shut his mouth and said nothing. But it's so easy to just look at the guy and see what he just thinks of Tyler Ford for no reason.
Did he get a tech in the game? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I think it was post-tech even. Like Tyler Ford said, "Hey, technical foul." Oh yeah, I know what you are.
Wow.
You're a huge P word.
Wow.
I'll curse. I'll censor it now. I mean, he did. That's what it was easily readable. Unfortunately for Ime Udoka, but somebody should have taken him over some of our picks. He's going to get points. He's already got points.
Yeah.
I mean, I regretted Alperen Şengün a little bit afterwards, considering the Kevin Durant injury that he sustained in a practice. Was it surprising to hear that? That he hit his knee in a practice.
He's been healthy all season long. He had a really good season, Kevin Durant did.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't often hear about
teams
this.
never practice.
Exactly. What happened?
You're like, oh man, we got a week off. Let's get some practices in, and a guy actually gets hurt.
Yeah.
That's why it was surprising.
Yeah.
Literally the day before, too. It wasn't.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, final one in the West. It's Spurs Blazers. It was the last game of the weekend. What do you got, TK?
It's just one game, but the Spurs are playoff ready. The only question mark that anybody had for San Antonio is how are all of these young guys, including Victor Wembanyama, going to handle their first appearance in the postseason? And starting with Wemby, it wasn't a problem at all.
No.
35 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 5 of 6 from 3 in 32 minutes for Wemby. It's the most points ever in a Spurs playoff debut. And Tim Duncan was the guy who previously had it, and he was there watching the game, completely unimpressed. Did we see Tim Duncan clap once? Did he smile once?
He smiled once.
Just once?
On the Wemby spin.
Yeah, he did.
And dunk.
Okay,
and then
good.
They showed him.
Okay, good.
Look at this guy smiling.
Cut to him really quickly.
Yeah, they did.
Just in case. But this was awesome by Wemby because Portland tried. They tried a lot of different stuff. They had Drew Holiday guarding him. They had Toumani Camara guarding him. They had Klingon guarding basically nobody and just roaming. Yep. They tried Time Lord on him. Time Lord maybe had the most success. I don't know. At least he was big and athletic against Wemby, but it really did not matter. The only time Wemby looked out of sorts was when he was going for a highlight late in the fourth quarter. I think he'd scored on like 3 of the previous 4 possessions. He wanted to do a cool spin move and he fell down. But it was sweet for San Antonio. Devin Vassell, I thought, was awesome. Had a really do-everything game in his first playoff game. 15 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 really cool blocks. De'Aaron Fox was steady, 17 and 8. Champagnie, 2 threes, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. The wing duo of him and Vassell was just perfect role players in this game. The fans came out. They perfectly matched their seats to the Fiesta colors. All the Spurs showed up wearing the exact same suit, all black, double-breasted, with a black shirt and tie. I would have changed that last part if it was me. Even Mitch Johnson got a tech in his first playoff game. This was like perfect for San Antonio as a playoff debut.
Yeah, they took a business approach to game one. Literally, they all showed up in the same matching all-black suits and then had a very dominant game here. And Wemby had 21 points in the first half, the highest scoring output in a player's first career playoff opening half in the play-by-play era. Pretty good start. He also was like, anyone that he was matched up on, they didn't score in that first half on him. 0 for 6 as the contesting defender. He was playmaking as well. Great start, not only just for Wemby Tass, but like TK just went through. All these other guys that we were like, ooh, are they going to be okay? And when the lights are bright, yeah, they're fine, at least against the Blazers.
Yeah, the breakout player prediction that we made earlier was Friday, I guess I should say. I think I'd change it to Stephon Castle over Amen Thompson. Stephon Castle, not great shooting-wise, but just doing all the right things in this game from the get-go. He had that perfect bank shot with Timmy in the crowd watching him.
Yeah.
Top corner of that backboard. He had a 3. He had that sky-high dunk. And I thought when the Blazers were trying to make their way back, it was a 2-point game in the third quarter. It was fairly close. I thought he did a really good job of defending Scoot Henderson, who stepped out of bounds on the baseline and had to yell at the referee after that, where the referee had to say, stop yelling at me. I thought that possession defensively was really, really important, and he's got cool hair. He is the breakout player for me. He's going to make a lot of headlines and a lot of highlights because he gets up so high. And they are going to win a series, and that's obviously for sure. So that was a factor in my evaluation. But anyway, all across the board, the Spurs were great.
Watching this, Castle to me like stuck out as the key to how far the Spurs can actually go this year, because he was the guy that was getting schemed against immediately. They had Klingon guarding him from the tip, and he was standing underneath the free throw line saying, take any sort of jumper you want. Castle couldn't hit. He was 4 for 13 on the night. He was shooting it, and once the jumper wasn't dropping, he was either attacking or more than likely trying to create for others. 7 assists to 3 turnovers I thought was pretty good, but that's going to be a sticking point, I believe, for San Antonio, because at least Fox is a little bit more reliable. He's not a great outside shooter, but you're not leaving him wide open, and he's better at getting into his mid-range attack as well. Castle, it's like he wants to drive first and foremost. He'll play make after that. He doesn't want to take the threes, went 1 for 5 last night. So as the teams get better that the Spurs play, I'm sure that opponents are going to continue to do something different. Like, don't guard him and see if he can do anything, because there were times I thought when the offense looked pretty wonky when he was just flailing out there.
Yeah, I thought Thiago Splitter was trying a bunch of stuff. We mentioned that would be a move. Let Stephon Castle shoot that thing. Just go wide open. They tried a bunch of things in this game. Yeah. They tried Donovan Klingon, letting it rip from 3 early. Didn't go down. He missed all 3 of his threes, so they had to slow that down a little bit. If he bangs home a couple, then this game is totally different. So they got to a point in the third quarter again where they fought back. They could have easily just gone and not tried all that hard coming out of halftime. They did not. They did not crater. They fought. At the beginning of the second quarter, they went Toumani Camara at center for a few minutes. But here comes Luke Cornett in for 6 minutes. Champion Luke Cornett, and the Spurs won those minutes with Wemby on the bench. So they were great. But I like the fight level and just the adaptation by Thiago Splitter in this game.
Hollinger made note of this, and I think it's a lot of truth to it, that it's going to be tough when your best pathway to winning is to take a zillion three-pointers, but you aren't any good at shooting three-pointers. They're one of the worst teams when it comes to the three ball. And, like, for them to pull off an upset or win even a game or two, like, they're just going to need to catch fire from downtown. But you had Kamara, Klingon, Holiday. I mean, they shot 4 of 23 over the first 3 quarters. 1, if not 2 of those guys just need to hit shot. And Jeremy Grant, I mean, he was a minus 25 in 19 minutes. And this is the vet, right? He only gave you 5 points. He's the vet for this young Portland squad. He just needs to be a little bit better. So I like the fight, though. I like the creativity, at least, of trying things.
They tried.
And, I think there'll still be some competitive games in this series. But another one where a lot of people are going 4, maybe 5. Can Portland take 1? A little trivia question, though, for you, just because it's weird. Wemby became the 3rd player in NBA history to have at least 30 points and 5 3-pointers in his postseason debut. Can you name the other 2? And they've happened in the last, let's call it, decade. 1 in 2015, 1 in 2022. One's a future Hall of Famer.
Luka.
No, it's a good guess. A guy was injured this year. The future Hall of Famer. He's got a championship. He's got a big shot under his belt in a finals game.
Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie Irving, yes. Went for 30 plus points and 5 3-pointers in his postseason debut. The other one, the reason I asked this question, played for a couple franchises now. He's had some moments, obviously. He's a scorer. He's a shooter. He's not going to be a future Hall of Famer, but he is a champion.
He's a champion. He did it in 2022, you're telling me.
Yeah.
It's a shooter. He's a scorer. He did it in
Hey, it's getting hot. You may have, for all I know, your kids live in this thing, so you maybe were in one this weekend.
Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole! Yeah, Kyrie Irving, Jordan Poole, and Wemby in their postseason debuts. 30 points, 5 3-pointer made. That's tough.
That's a crazy run Jordan Poole had.
Yeah, right?
He was good in the 22 playoffs.
I was thinking Yurt when you said his kids may live in. Like, nope, ain't a player out there named
Omer Yurtseven. No.
Nice one.
Did you see Kelly Olynyk's no-show socks? He got in at the end of the game.
I saw.
And Reggie Miller and Mike Tirico were basically clowning him, and I think that was fair because, wow, it's a weird look.
Well, Tirico said, this guy going golfing?
Yeah.
Yeah, because showing off the ankles.
I don't like it at all. It's very funny looking, though.
Yeah, this is the guy that said, let's all wear the same suit. And they're like, yeah, okay. If you say so, Kelly.
Yeah, I think the suit was worse than those. Just the double.
What?
Yeah.
No, some of the guys looked good, man. In those suits.
They look. They're all tailored, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But I just the double-breasted, all those the buttons are too much. It's the buttons. It looks like a peacock jacket. You know, like there's too much.
They're way better than no-show socks,
What's a
man.
peacock jacket?
You know, a peacock, actual like a full-on jacket that's double-breasted, like a spring, winter. Isn't that the proper name for it? Peacock.
Peacoat?
Peacoat, yeah.
Yeah, you're thinking
Peacoat. Yeah,
that's the
sure.
one. Sorry, I've been watching NBC basketball too much. Yeah, it looked like a peacoat. The buttons are huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
What did you think
Anyway, it
about
was
the
fun.
no-show socks? There,
Brutal. We left them in the 2000s for a reason.
I know, man. I was thinking that. I was like, oh, I definitely played some games with that look.
Oh, yeah,
And
we did.
it was weird then, and it's even weirder now. Oh, my God. Also, he was celebrating his birthday by doing that. Yeah.
Doing what?
It was like almost his, maybe that's his definition of his birthday suit. Kelly Olynyk. It was his birthday yesterday.
Oh, sorry, man. I don't know his
You don't know that? Come on, man. I thought you know ball.
Well, he doesn't have to play, and that's why it's okay if he wears those ankless socks.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would be curious to see what socks Kelly Olynyk had on during the regular season. Like, did he think I ain't playing this game? I
Maybe.
can let my ankles breathe a little bit here.
Yeah, maybe. And before we take a break here, I got to address the new Blazers owner, Tom Dundon, off to a hot start as the new Blazers owner. And by hot start, I mean hilariously cheap. Did you see these stories with what he's doing? So first off, Caleb Love and the Blazers' other two-way guys, Chris Youngblood and Jason Kent, they were not traveling to San Antonio for game 1 or 2, of course. Stay back in Portland. We're not paying for those flights. We know you're not playing.
Well, that's what my mind immediately thought. You don't have to pay for a flight. It's on the same plane. You got to pay for a hotel.
Hotel, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not
and-
literally saving $1,500.
That's
per
funny
night.
you brought
Come
up the
on, man.
hotel, because did you see the other report on Tuesday afternoon when they were getting ready for the play-in game in Phoenix? A number of Blazers staffers were asked to check out of their Phoenix area hotel room at noon, hours before the first bus left for the game. The reason, according to multiple sources, was for the team to avoid the cost of a late checkout.
Really?
This guy's not paying the late checkout fee. Just check out. Come on, hang out in the lobby. Wait for the bus. Wow. This guy spent all his money on buying this team, and he's like, we got to do some savings.
And they're not doing fan T-shirts for their games 3 and 4, as
Well,
far as I know.
man.
Literally not having the same colored shirts for everybody.
Save those
the
printing
handouts.
costs, man.
Very smart.
What a way to start your ownership.
Come on, Cronin. Joe Cronin's got to talk to him. You got to talk to him.
And then there's another report. Like he's like, we're not even going to pay coaches.
Nope.
We're
$1
just-
million.
yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
that is bonkers.
Yeah.
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 1.5 mil max, right?
I guess
I think
so. That's what the reports
1.5
are.
mil. That's where I draw the line, but that's what assistants make.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a break, and then we'll do the Eastern Conference game 1s. New FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. That's right. Turn $5 into $250 in bonus bets just for getting started. That's all you got to do. And when every possession matters in the playoffs, FanDuel makes it easy to get closer to the action. Player props on your favorite stars to all the tools you need to back them up. FanDuel puts player research right at your fingertips so you can check stats, trends, matchups all in one place and make your picks with confidence. My fingies tips are sore today. I did some mulching this weekend.
With your tips?
Guess I just, like a lot of ripping bags and putting down mulch. And I think maybe I cut my nails too short. Anyway, they were a little sensitive.
Gotta get a
Sorry,
clipper.
man.
Clipper to cut open those
I know,
bags.
I just like ripping them.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. It's everything you need all in one app. I'm talking about FanDuel. So don't miss your shot. Head to FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. FanDuel, play your game.
You wear gloves when you do your mulching?
Yes, I do.
Oh.
Yes, I do. Yeah, maybe it
Thought
was
they
like
would-
the impact of the gloves on the end. Also, I got bad news. This isn't fun. I lost my ring this weekend. doing
Oh,
mulching.
yeah.
So here's the thing. Okay. So you guys, everyone that's seen the show for a long time, I wear my wedding ring on my middle finger. And the reason why is when I first started dating Nora 25 plus years ago, when we first started dating, she went on a trip to the Dominican Republic with her family. She came back, she gave me this ring, this exact ring. And I've had it on my finger. I put it on my middle finger at the time and then just kept it there for 25 years. I take it off to play basketball though.
Okay.
But I was taking it off and I jammed my middle finger really bad playing hoops a couple weeks ago. And I was struggling to get it back on. And I would like fight it and get it over the knuckle. And then I'd have to fight to get it back off. And Nora started doing, you stop doing that. Like you're either going to hurt your knuckle even more or you're never going to be able to get it off, blah, 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 blah. So on Friday, I was trying to put it back on. I'm like, I'm trying to get it on. She's like, stop that. And I was like, okay, I'll just put it on my ring finger. But it's too loose. So it's like, it was on there. But then I'm doing this mulching. I'm putting gloves on and off. I'm doing whatever. And at the end of the day, I'm like, oh crap. I went to play with it because I've had it on my hand for 25 years. I'm like, oh crap, it's gone. I knew it right away. I was like, it's either in the mulch, it's at Lowe's, it's in the car. I mean, I looked in the car, it's not there.
Lowe's.
I don't know where it is.
Did you look in the gloves?
I looked in, of course, the first place I looked was in the gloves.
Yeah.
You need a metal detector.
I know. Like, yeah, the place it must be is in the mulch somewhere.
It must be mulched.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think it's going to turn up? I mean,
In the rain?
As soon as we
Wash
get
out in the rain?
metal detector sponsor for Whoa Boy, yeah, they can just send us one.
I thought you were going to say as soon as my lawn guys show up and blow all my mulch away in one weekend, which was a complete waste. You watch. You'll see.
Okay, we need a metal detector immediately.
All right.
Vivor.com/no-dunks for all your metal detector
Anyway,
needs.
devastating. So I feel so naked, you know? Weird. But then I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just get an actual wedding band that fits my ring finger.
You're in the
Maybe
market,
that's
huh?
the move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get a Woboy sponsor on that?
I'm sure we can
Okay.
to replace it because it. No offense against Nora, but it probably wasn't all that expensive
no,
25
absolutely
years
not.
ago. You know
Absolutely
what I mean?
not.
So we could replace
It was actually shocking that it must have been real silver. I couldn't even believe it because like it held up for 25 years and didn't,
Sure, yeah.
wasn't. I mean, it was bent to hell and stuff. Yeah.
like
sterling.
it's scooped.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a fun
Henderson.
little story for you. So I hate losing things though, man. Oh, makes me sick to my stomach.
Losing things.
Yeah. I went back to Lowe's, by the way. Needed more mulch because I never can get the right amount of bags. But anyway,
Yeah.
right?
does
Whatever you think
everybody.
it is, double it. Just go twice as much.
Double your
You
mulch.
think you need 15 bags of mulch? Nope. You need at least 25. Okay. But I'm looking I was like, I'll go back where I parked. I'll look around. I love the South, man. Somebody saw me looking. This older couple. What are you looking for? Oh, I'm looking for my ring. Let me help you. Hey, honey, come on over. Let's help. I'm like, no, don't do that. We're looking around. That's very nice, though.
That was very nice.
Yeah. Went to the bags of mulch outside, where I was heaving bags like I was Paul Bunyan. Couldn't find
Heaving
them.
bags.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're heaving.
Anyway, devastating weekend for me.
That sucks.
No,
That
no.
really sucks.
Thank you.
I've started looking for like a replacement for my ring just in case I lose it.
2-for-1 deal we can get?
Are you sure? Yeah. 2-for-1.
All right, let's talk about the Eastern Conference Series, the game ones. It's just one game, but Trey, when it comes to the Pistons Magic.
Paolo Banchero is a playoff riser. We signed off Friday. The Magic were done.
Yes.
They were buried. Jamal Mosley was unemployed. We're coming to you Monday morning. The Orlando Magic are the only team with a road playoff win in the first round, game ones.
Wow.
Paolo was good. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Pretty efficient. He started seeing extra bodies in the second half. He was making the right play. Didn't score in the fourth quarter. That could be bad news bears for the Magic, but it was Franz Wagner who took it home for Orlando. 11 of his 19 came in the fourth, and you saw him and Paolo were like cheering each other on. And Paolo was doing a great job of just rolling with Franz as he was able to exploit his size advantages inside. We made our picks via Slack because this came down late on Friday night. The reason I picked Detroit in 6 games is because these teams have similar strengths.
Yeah.
Detroit and Orlando. Questionable offenses at times, but can play good defense. Orlando had a disappointing season for sure, but they're not a bad team, right? They're still a playoff team. Yep. They can still get to a pretty solid level, and they definitely did in game one. They made the Pistons one-dimensional. Cade had 39 points and 4 assists. That was awesome. But he was the only guy who really played well for the Pistons. Tobias Harris had 17 points. He was inefficient, kind of disappeared for huge chunks of time. No one else in double digits. 10 of 32 from 3 for Detroit. So kind of a worst-case scenario for them from an offensive standpoint.
Oh, yeah.
I'm giving the game ball, though, to this one. for this one to Wendell Carter Jr. I thought he was incredible. Really shut down the Cade. Jalen Duren pick and roll was doing a great job of playing too, making Cade make decisions. Usually these were shooting decisions for him, but he walled off the paint. I thought he was kind of Roy Hibbert-ish with his verticality. In this one, in the fourth quarter, he was a playmaker. He was a screener. He was really important as a hub for the Magic, being able to score efficiently in the fourth quarter. Had a couple of buckets inside that basically ended this game. So compared to where we saw the Magic after game one of the pit to where they are now after game one of round one, pretty amazing.
Yeah, we had them as 1, 2, 3 Cancun and hardcore. They already had their swim trunks on. They were wearing them on the plane.
They got their Vioris.
They had flip-flops on the plane. They were ready to hit the beach. They were done. And obviously came out then on Friday night and hammered the Hornets. And then to follow it up with this good performance here on the road in Detroit. Detroit can't win a game in Little Caesars Arena. They've lost 11 straight now at home in the postseason. They haven't won since 2008
That's
at home.
Disappointing part.
Yeah, but what this was a really strong performance on the Magic.
Yeah, to see that Orlando take out Charlotte, not super surprising. Charlotte could play bad, but this is Detroit. They should come out in game one and play way better. Just watching that, I immediately said, it's just one game, but the Magic have the better Jalen in this series. Suggs was really, really good at throwing out his energy.
Oh, yeah.
He was just saying, screw it, I'm not guarding whoever on the perimeter. I'm just going to come in, and whether it's an entry pass here for Jalen Duren, I'm going to steal it. Or if Jalen gets it down low, I'm going to block it. I'm going to dive to the floor. I'm going to stop whoever I possibly can. He did enough. He did so much in this series, while Jalen Duren on the other side, it's like he wasn't there. That was really, really disappointing. Cade needs a number two just to throw some bodies around, and Wendell Carter, as you mentioned, Trey, just outplayed him. And Jalen Duren was kind of caught in the middle of, okay, we're kind of doubling Paolo Banchero, but I'm not going to hard double him, and I'm just stand here in the middle, and then Banchero could find Wendell Carter Jr. for an easy score or a push shot. I mean, there was too easy for Wendell Carter Jr., who went 8 of 9 in this game. Jalen Duren couldn't match Wendell Carter. He definitely couldn't match Jalen Suggs. I don't know if the guy who made the There's Too Many Jalens in the NBA video has made one about this, but Jalen Suggs kicked Jalen Duren's ass, if you want to make a video about that. I mean, the Pistons were allowing open threes, I thought, in this game, too. I don't know what's going on in Little Caesars Arena, but they just weren't ready to play. They weren't.
Yeah, Suggs set the tone very early in this game, right away. His 9 first quarter minutes, he had 11 points because he was hitting threes. He had 2 boards, 2 steals, a block. It felt like he was everywhere. To try and, again, set that tone. And, you're watching this game, you're going, okay, hot start from Orlando. Maybe they've been playing these games here all week, and maybe that is a disadvantage for Detroit. They've had this week off and a little rusty, whatever. So I'm thinking, they'll get back into this game. And they did, but every time the Magic had an answer to follow up a Pistons run, especially when we got into the second half here, and that was impressive. They started, the Magic did 6 for 6 from the field at the beginning of the fourth quarter, with Banchero on the bench. And I went through it and rewatched it again this morning. Bane got the party started with a tough transition layup. Very tough transition layup. Probably was a foul. He powered through Jenkins on the run. Then Wagner scored over Tobias Harris at the rim after a nice cut through the paint. Good pass from Wendell Carter Jr. Suggs hit a pull-up 3 from up top. That quieted the Detroit crowd. Because, by the way, Detroit was sort of scoring at the start of the fourth, too. But the Magic kept rolling. Wagner hit another driving layup after he rejected the screen. De Silva got in on the fun next. He hit this crazy driving finger roll over Duncan Robinson off a little Euro. And then Wagner once again got a steal, came down, and then he hit like a tough running pull-up jumper where he thought he got fouled, so he sort of just chucked it up, but it went. So 6 for 6 to start, and then Wagner had a big dunk not soon long after that. So
that was a nice dunk.
Awesome start to the fourth, again, with their main guy, who you've given some credit to, and rightfully so, on the bench there. But Wagner he's the one that sort of took over late.
Yeah, that was surprising. Guess that knee is fine, because that was a worry going into the Charlotte game, the play-in game where he left the game injured when they lost against the Sixers on Wednesday night. But the bod is fine. That dunk was really, really big. This is a game where the Orlando Magic shot 10 of 34 from 3 and shoot that well from 3, and they still win because the Pistons weren't able to help out Cade, who comes into this playoffs That's a bit of a question mark. How is his body doing after the collapse long? We haven't seen a big game for him in a while because he only had 3 games played going into this playoffs, and he was so good. He was so comfortable to drop those 39. He looked great. It was shocking not to see anybody help, really. Like the Tobias, he gets some numbers, but not efficient. Nobody had a good game besides Cade.
What would your panic meter be at here if you are a Pistons fan after dropping game 1 to the Magic in like especially against a team that does like to sort of match your physicality and stuff like that? Where do you have it on the panic meter?
I'm trying to remember our categories.
Well, oh no,
tummy trouble in traffic.
I wasn't even thinking about that one. I was just like 0 to 100. Where's that?
Okay. So, very precise.
Yeah.
I've got 100 points. I would say this is like a 73.
Whoa. Quite panicked, I would say.
Yeah, we look bad. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
We. me and my Pistons teammates, we look bad out there. I think it's a little bit panicking because everything that went poorly coming into this series, anything that you like would identify as a potential problem was a problem for Detroit. They shot 10 of 32 from 3. They had one guy who could score. Duran's bully ball, be able to put the ball on the floor, get a layup was completely non-existent. So they got to figure out a way to get him more involved. Like first and foremost, like he should get a post up on the very first play of the first of game 2. But I think it's also concerning that like Kevin Huerter, they traded for him. He was out of the rotation, got his way back into the rotation because Cade was hurt at the end of the regular season. This guy's closing the game for you. You didn't trust him a month and a half ago. Janice Dankins, awesome season. Still don't know what we're getting from him. He's closing the fourth quarter. It just kind of felt like, oh, we're stunned. We don't know what's going on here. So I thought this was like I'm still rolling with the Pistons, but I don't love it.
Sorry, I'm laughing. Did you actually say Janice Dankins?
He did, yeah.
I didn't know if he did it. I didn't know if he did it as a joke or not.
I just Janice Dankins did.
Yeah. Listen.
Janice Dankins.
Yeah, when Dennis Jenkins hit his first shot, he thought, I'm going off tonight. You could see him. He's like, I'm going to go off. But instead, Janice Dankins showed up. It wasn't right. It was not right. But you could see every single Piston. Again, I thought Dennis Jenkins was going to have a good game after watching that.
Yeah.
Or Huerter being trusted. Or Jalen Duren, he's good for, yes, he just bodies everybody, but he's good for one, put it on the floor, make something happen.
Yeah.
A game. It didn't happen. Just one of those guys to do anything.
So he had it at 73 on the panic meter. Where are you that concerned?
While Trey was thinking about it, I thought 75, so I can't go back on
you
that.
guys are higher than I am. I mean, like,
So
let's
we're
not
close.
go overboard here on the Magic. We could turn around and they could have a big old stinker.
But as you said, the Pistons haven't won in Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah, no, they need to
forever.
get that monkey off their back for sure. And they
But they
these
had a
other
great
guys-
series against the Knicks last year. They lost in 6, but still,
Yeah.
it was a close series. I thought being a home, the home series, having the home advantage again after doing that, I thought more than that. I thought more than them.
The concern is that the Magic are not your traditional sort of 8 seed. Like you're saying, we had high expectations for this team, 50-plus win team, and then of course injuries zapped them, and then it looked like they let go of the rope, and all the rumors about their distrust in Mosley, and is Banchero like a leader? All that like reared its ugly head near the end. Losing to the Celtics C squad, and then obviously losing to the Sixers there in the 70 matchup. Like it didn't look good. I mean, I'm guilty. I was like, they're done. They're toast. I mean, they don't even want to play for this guy anymore. And instead, they got the game 1 victory. So maybe the playoffs are like the reset a team like them needed. It's like it's basically just starting the season over. Everybody's 0-0. Here we go. So you're not playing behind the 8 ball there with the record and all that disappearing.
45 and 37. That's good for an 8 seed in the Eastern Conference, where we all expect, playing. We're gonna get like a 38 and 42 team. It didn't happen in the East. We're seeing way worse in the West when we're watching this 1-8 experiment happen right now. Although Phoenix had a good record. I shouldn't say that, and they're still gonna win a game at home. But not as good as this.
Yeah, I got confidence in the Pistons here. I'm not as high as in around the 3/4 mark as you guys. About 50-50 though, because it wasn't great.
Nah.
And Cade, it's like that's the game plan. They're like, all right, let's see if Cade Cunningham can just beat us.
Yeah.
Probably not by himself. He needs the support of these.
Well, yeah, that's what we said weeks ago.
Yeah, that was the
leading
concern.
into just somebody to produce. Trey questioned it. We had Ben Golliver on here question it.
Yep.
I thought, yeah, of course they can do it. Just one guy, that's all you need. And just shocking to see whether it's Kevin Herter, whether it's Tobias Harris.
Somebody's got to hit corner
Jalen
threes.
Duran. I
He's
mean,
got to make
yeah.
some threes.
Yeah, especially those ones from the corner. All right,
We
let's
saw
Watching
Janice.
this one, I
Janice
thought
Jenkins.
every Grant Hill sentence sounds the same.
Oh God.
He starts it slow in the first half with a nice gentle voice, and he ends it with a gravelly voice, almost laughing.
Our guy,
Every
Trill
single
Bro
sentence
dude,
starts
compared
the
him.
same way.
He compared him to Grant Hill. Sounds like he's AI. It's like they've recorded it all or something, or like just put Grant Hill like AI
Yes.
voice into it. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you're saying there, Trill Bro. All right, let's go to the Knicks Hawks. Tass, it's just one game, but
The Knicks run harder than the Hawks. We came into this series thinking, okay, Atlanta plays really fast. The Knicks play the opposite. They play slow. It didn't seem that way watching this game. The Knicks were just going hard. They were going fast. You look at the fast break points in this game that the Knicks were able to score. They won 22-13. So that's like, 11 baskets or so in fast break. So they doubled them in baskets. And we're not expecting that. I know Jalen Brunson was just really, really good at utilizing every fast break he could, or giving it off to Mikal Bridges as they ran really, really fast. Brunson dancing around Cat to start. He was just really, really good, but we didn't expect to see this. So I went into the advanced box scores. Did the Knicks just run more and run faster as they are able to calculate the pace of these guys? No, the Hawks did a little bit faster, but still, this was surprising to see them come out like that, and they were ready to go. And the Hawks battled. I thought we were getting a little bit of the Pacers last year coming into this playoffs with the Atlanta Hawks, and that they use everybody. And I thought going into the fourth quarter, maybe they can come back just like the Pacers did against the Knicks in game one last year when they were down 17 in that fourth quarter. And we saw the miraculous Aaron Nesmith and the shot and all that. And they fought. Jalen Johnson was so good in this game, just making plays for everybody. Very Pacers-like, setting screens, doing all that. Nickeil Alexander-Walker doing enough. Dyson Daniels, 11 assists. If only he could hit a three. CJ McCollum, great finishes and all that. But the Knicks were able to run as hard as the Hawks and close out. Cat was great. 6 first half points, 19 second half points. So they did enough, got it from everybody. And again, they were ready for the pace of the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, it just came down to me that the Knicks stars were better in this one. Brunson 28, 25 for Towns, and the Hawks basically didn't have an answer for either one of them for the entirety of the night. Anytime it would get a little bit close, I felt like Towns could put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. Any chance that Brunson had one-on-one, he was just able to score over the top. I didn't think this was the greatest Jalen Johnson game. He came alive a little bit, I thought, as the game progressed, but only 3 assists, 1 turnover. Like, he was just kind of uninvolved in half-court sets for the most part. It was, CJ kind of keying things and Daniels being forced into being a playmaker. And he did a good job of that. CJ did have a pretty solid game as well. But if you're going away from Alexander Walker, if you're going away from Johnson, that's playing into the Knicks' hands. Yeah. Their stars were better in this game, and they just looked like a team that was a class ahead of the Hawks in game one. When they're able to play fast, when the Knicks are able to get out and transition, that's like Josh Hart thriving. That's Mikal Bridges being able to run the court. These are ways that these guys can easily get involved. Only 11 turnovers on the night for New York. Hawks can't win that way. They got to force 16, 17 into the 20s to have a really solid defense out there.
Yeah, I thought Hart did well in his assignment on Jalen Johnson, which then, tough possessions, but then forced those other guys, like you said, Daniels and McCollum, to create more than maybe Jalen was. But Josh Hart, he loves these playoff games, especially in Madison Square Garden, so he's always going to bring the energy. I thought there were a lot of similarities between this game, game one, and the Raptors-Cavaliers game one, which I know we'll get to. But the more experienced team looked apart. The superstars carried the load enough, though they didn't have to do everything. And then the defense went up a notch in the second half. Like, they held the Hawks to 47 points in the second half. The Knicks did. And similar to what the Cavs did to the Raps there in the second half. So just that experience, I think, of being here, done that, came through. was a good win. The Hawks kept it close though. At least made it competitive down the stretch. Especially, I think you're right. I think the crowd was getting a little like, oh my God, no way, not again. Like the Pacers series when they made a little late run there, but took care at the end.
Yeah, that's how the Hawks should get you, is that they're deep enough to have everybody produce like those Pacers of last year, but it didn't happen in this one. Yeah, they did rely on the guys that they didn't want to rely on as much, and that's why Quinn Snyder said, hey, Zachary Sachet, you're only playing 2 minutes and 29 seconds in this game, although he played really hard. But
he was bad.
I think that was 2 minutes plus too money.
He just too money. Kamara, he did miss bunnies. That was weird. He went after it hard. If you look in the box score metrics that measure how fast guys ran, he ran the fastest out of anybody in the game.
He played 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's why he ran hard. He missed shots. I thought Kuminga played in his game, and they just weren't getting enough from everybody. It's understandable that Jalen Johnson here in his first game started a little slow, but again, I thought he was playmaking. Even the stupid assist numbers don't mean anything. They didn't show up, but Dyson Daniels was doing it. I thought they played well enough to make me feel like, okay, this is going to be a series. We'll see if they can steal game two.
I don't think so with this one. And in watching this feels like to me like the Knicks are just completely outclassed the Hawks. And that's fine. The Knicks are a championship contender, and the Hawks are almost like, wow, we sort of salvaged our season. We turned it around there. And then we beat up a bunch of bad teams at the end. And our record sort of looked way better than maybe it even is. And maybe are tricking people into thinking they can compete against this team. I don't know. It just feels like I took Knicks in 5, and I know we had some other picks going much longer. We'll see who's right. But they're just such a better basketball team. And Brunson was destroying them in the first quarter.
Oh, he was great.
And then you said Cat only took 13 shots, but he was hitting the 3 ball. And he had the big one. He's feeling it where he got the and one there. And he's doing his old cat thing, his little pointing fingers while he's on the ground. I just don't think they're too concerned about this Hawks team, personally.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Jalen Johnson has to punish them for putting Josh Hart on him. He's got a massive size advantage over Hart, and Hart was able to at least battle him enough to take Johnson out of the half court part of the game. He started piling up points as they did their little comeback at the end. But, the game was over at that point. So, I don't know, because Reese Shea looked like not a guy that's probably going to get many more chances for the rest of this series. Mo Gay just didn't look ready on this one. Mitchell Robinson dominated, I thought, especially his first stint. Had yet another Jock Landale conversation, this time at church.
Oh, wow.
I've had Jock Landale conversations at pickup runs at church. This is the state of the Hawks right now, where they're really missing their backup big. And he would be very important to this team, because the Hawks bench didn't really do much in this one either. This is a team that needs to get good performances from their top 8. They're looking more like a top 7 right now. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I pick Knicks in 7 just because I think the New York is pretty inconsistent. We've seen them be pretty up and down so far, but they were very up in game 1.
Oh, they were up. A lot of conversations. Did you have any conversations about Felix Solis, the actor who you've talked about before? Just in home?
No,
and he was
I've
at this game.
only ever talked about Felix Solis.
Solis, excuse my mispronunciation.
Here in the studio, off camera. But
my
it's
bad.
true. He recently moved into my neighborhood.
Oh, I thought that was on camera. That's
okay.
my bad.
That's okay.
We often mix them up.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
You're the one who said he moved into your neighborhood just now. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That was up to you. But
That's true.
MSG has got the best celebrities, period. They beat everybody. Here who I was listing as the game was going on. It starts with Knicks, former Knicks. Stephon Marbury, Latrell Sprewell, Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, John Starks all show up.
Yeah.
Then we get into the actors. Kit Harington. He got to meet Cat. Kit means cat after the game. Fat Joe, John Leguizamo, Steve Sharipa, probably mispronouncing that too. You remember him.
Yeah, I know you're
Bobby
talking about.
Baklava.
Yeah, exactly.
Action Brunson, Felix Solis, Ben Stiller. The list goes on, but I'll stop there because I didn't recognize a lot of the other names.
Who the hell is Felix Solis?
You're acting like you don't know who Felix Solis is.
I mean, I know you did talk about him here in the factory, and I know you shared a photo in Slack, and I was like, yeah, okay.
He's an actor.
Yeah, he's that guy.
Yeah.
He'll play a drug dealer for a Mexican cartel. No problem.
Okay.
Anyways, they got
sure.
the best. They got everybody shows up.
My-
Although I didn't see Timothy
No Tim Tim?
No
No.
Tim Tim.
No
yeah.
Tim Tim.
Didn't see him. And for all the hate thrown his way, I thought Jordan Clarkson gave the Knicks some good minutes in this game. 8 points, 4 or 6 shooting, 2 boards in 11 minutes. So strong start here from Mike Brown in pushing the right buttons early in game 1.
Yeah.
Well, he was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
My last note
Yeah.
was that Laura thought it was very unfair that CJ McCollum got called for a technical for kicking Jalen Brunson in the nuts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's tough, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like a split second after the whistle.
Yeah.
Because I think Brunson gets called for a foul, right? But CJ follows through toe to Dickens.
Yeah.
And then he said Jalen Brunson said he was acting like he was on Broadway.
Yeah.
Post game, yeah.
Fine. Let Brunson kick you in the nuts then. See how you act. See how Felix Solis acts.
Hey, speaking of post-game press conferences with the Knicks, did you see Kat really enjoying that new, I think, Gatorade flavor?
There's a new flavor out there.
Yeah, and Anthony Edwards, same bottle, same flavor earlier in the weekend, was loving it too. Both these guys
A good flavor.
was like they drank it. What is this? So
Yeah.
new flavors dropped. I guess I don't know what
Great.
it
I was
is.
like, is this an ad?
I know it
like-
felt like it.
You question what flavor
They're
you're
like
drinking?
so into it. Yeah.
I thought athletes know everything that goes into their body.
I don't know, man.
Kat's like,
They
what is
really
it? It was like a
Got me
bluey
intrigued.
purple color.
Yeah, it looks like a normal one they already make, but apparently I saw people saying, "Nah, it's like a cherry with a glacier." Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. This is not an ad, unless they want to send us some. All right, let's go to Cleveland, Toronto. It's just one game, but the Cavaliers are unbothered by the Raptors. Cleveland was dictating the terms, I thought, in this game. Hot shooting first half from Toronto, but then the Cavs held the Raptors to 59 points in the second half, including just 22 in the third quarter. It was the third quarter where they did their business. Cleveland just completely took away the Raptors' transition offense. Toronto scored 3 fast break points. They ran on under 7% of their possessions, both season lows. What happened? First, in order to run, you usually got to get stops. And Cleveland was clicking on the offensive end. So they didn't miss a lot of shots. And secondly, while the Cavs finished with 17 turnovers, they only had 3 of the live ball variety. So there was not a lot of options for the Raptors to run. And you could tell it was a point of emphasis for the Cavs too, Kenny Atkinson and them. To go back to the Pacers of last year, I mean, they got sort of cooked when the Pacers were running down their throats. So, and that was a big reason why they lost that series. So they just took that away, and the Raps just don't have enough scoring, especially without Emmanuel Quickly, who didn't play, and we don't know his status really for game 2 here, whether it'll suit up.
Yeah, it turned at the beginning of the third quarter when Jamal Shed, the guy filling in for Emmanuel Quickly, misses a floater to start. That's Quickly's shot, man. It would be nice if he was there to do that. Then Barnes backed up Mobley in the post, and it felt like that's exactly what Dargo was asking for. Just give it to him. Let him go. He missed. Then a Barnes bad entry pass to Brandon Ingram. Timeout. We can't do it. We can't turn over the ball. So just those 3 possessions started it, and then a Barrett missed 3, and then it was over at that point. Yeah.
Not looking good for the Raps' chances here.
No.
And Mitchell, 32 points. He was efficient. James Harden, 22 and 10. They combined to score or assist on 82 of the Cavs' 126 points. So that's nearly 2/3 of their points. Good. Yeah. And it's like they didn't even need to run action for them. They were like, it's just like, we'll just cook the guy, whoever's defending us. Like, don't even bring over big sometimes. They're like, we're going to get by that guy, the first line defense. I mean, RJ Barrett getting asked to try and stop any of these guys is very difficult. And then they get in, and then obviously everybody's rotating, and it's just opening up all these shots. Like Max Strus was, he had an incredible game because Harden or Mitchell break down the first line of defense, and then it's swing, and easy shots. So this is going to be rough. Brandon Ingram was a talking point after this game, though. It looked good in the first half. I mean, Barnes was hitting threes. Jamal Shed was hitting threes. That's why they were sort of in this game. But then B.I. barely getting a shot here in the second half. And there was a lot of talk after that from him, from Darko, and we got to get him involved. Yeah, no duh, because he's
It's
like the
true.
one guy that
Yeah.
looks like he can score against Cleveland.
And maybe part of that is Quickly's absence, maybe. I don't feel like he's necessarily like a distributor style point guard, but it just looked like the Raptors were a little bit out of sorts. Only 9 field goal attempts for Ingram, though he did go to the free throw line 10 times. So, he was getting his possessions in. But it was the defensive end that was the main problem, I thought, for Toronto. Gave up 54% shooting, 50% from 3 for the Cavs as well. And they were just clicking. Like, everybody was doing their part. Like you're saying, Harden and Mitchell scoring and assisting basically whenever they wanted to. Jared Allen had a quiet game, but he was contributing at least. And Evan Mobley, I thought, was pretty aggressive, looking to score inside and looking like a big, strong dude out there, bodying guys, putting them in the basket, had that sweet dunk with his left hand as well. So a good game for Cleveland when we were like, okay, well, how are they going to look playing together with all their 4 dudes? Their 4 dudes looked pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Raptors have to run on makes too. We see it a lot in the NBA. We heard it actually in the audio assist in another game. I don't know which one it was. It wasn't Alex Caruso. It was somebody who's saying, they're running on makes. We got to get back. That's what the Raps have to do to overcome their offense, in that it is a little stagnant. It's, hey, let's get Brandon Ingram the ball, which it wasn't in this game. But that's exactly what it is. It's a lot of, okay, it's Brandon Ingram, it's your turn, or Scotty Barnes, it's your turn. And unfortunately, the movement of the ball wasn't happening as much without Emmanuel quickly. They did try and go to Brandon Ingram. As I said, those first few possessions of the second half did try and go to him. Was a bad pass from Scotty Barnes. So you could see, I think Darko was saying, okay, Scotty, your turn. Okay, Brandon Ingram, it's his turn. So they're trying to get it to him, but they were not ready. And again, they got to push it when even on makes. What does it matter? Just go.
I'd be interested to see what Darko does with Pirtle, who was bad and expectedly bad. Colin Murray Boyles, he played like a young guy, but I thought had some good moments, and defensively a little
Scored
bit more
inside.
of an identity there for him. Will he start him? Probably not. He'll probably roll with Pirtle still. But he should do the old quick yank. I mean, even if you just, it's a nominal start, let him start 2-3 minutes and then go to it. Like, why not? You're just completely outclassed here. You got to, like I've said this before, heading into this series, he's got to get funky with this. I was concerned when I saw, obviously this was game 1 of the entire weekend, watching a little bit of the pregame hype. They showed Scotty Barnes in the layup line. Then he yawned again. He yawned twice. I'm like, uh-oh. I know it's the early start there, Scotty, but we're gonna need a big performance from you to have any chance in this game, in this series. It was, he sort of played like it too. There was not a lot from Scotty Barnes in this. Did not love his leadership. I'll say that in this game.
Did he get smelling salts before the game then?
I don't know.
Yawning.
Yawning.
I just don't understand. I just don't understand it.
Pregame yawn. Hate to see that.
Also, it should be illegal for the Cavs to have 3 white guys that are all good shooters on the team. You can only get 2. That should be a new rule. Came up with it watching it.
Okay, so
Right?
Sam,
We got
Max.
Dean Wade starting, and I got Max Strus, who had a great game. And then Sam Merrill. Like, now, come on. Give us one. Right? We have Grady Dick, but he doesn't even play.
Yeah.
Give us one.
That's my
Thank
final
you.
thought. This is where my notes went on this game when it got out of control there.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. Sam Merrill, one of my notes was stronger than you expect. Maybe because he looks like a smaller white guy, but was able to absorb, I think it was Scotty Barnes plowing into the guy. Took it. We had the conversation, you said Sam Merrill or the Bucks.
AJ Green.
AJ Green, which one? And I thought AJ Green because he looks more muscular. But Sam Merrill can body a little bit. I started making notes too. It's all nicknames now. It's like Max Zeus, I think would be a good nickname. Max Zeus the God. I mean, he's got the hair.
Oh my God, that hair, yeah.
Yeah, it's Jesus Christ-esque. And my other note, Eric Collins.
That was fun. At least we had Eric Collins on the call for this.
Yeah, he was good. One of his quotes was, Scotty Barnes, stronger than 10 rows of onions.
Yes.
10 rows of, I mean, okay. I don't mind.
So weird.
He said somebody was hotter than a tailpipe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, yeah.
But it does feel like he saves his humdiddly-dees for the Hornets.
Yeah.
Only for the Hornets.
Yeah, I feel like he's given you 90% of Eric Collins. He's keeping that 10% for Hornets home games only.
Maybe. I did learn, by the way, I meant to tell you. Remember we were wondering, or we were talking about when Mike Breen got upset about the local broadcasters not having the first round anymore, which they used to, in addition to the nationally televised games. Matty Devlin, the Raptors, they do have the first round up in Canada.
Different
Yes.
rules in Canada.
Exactly. So I guess you had Matty D there in game 1. We
Nice.
didn't down here.
No, we had Eric.
But we had Eric Collins.
You go to the NBA app, you go, pop, pop, pop.
I'm not doing
Streams, real easy. Oh, yes. You got to use the NBA app. It's better
that. No,
than...
I can't because you're using it.
I know
gone
a
over
guy.
this
We can get multiple. No,
Oh, great.
that's your mentality. Then.
No, I know
We
it's not
can't
that, but
be at
I'm
the
telling
same
you,
time.
it doesn't work. The cookies and all that, man. I'm always having to clear cookies and the cache and all that.
That has
It's
nothing to do with
annoying.
watching. Anyway, I will say, just the Raps got to end. First of all, the NBA app's better than the Amazon app. As you said, Amazon, you can't click through 10 seconds. The 10 seconds you want to jump through a free throw, you want to jump through anything. You can't fly through it. While in the NBA app, if you're watching on a computer screen, you can use your arrows. Tick, tick.
The Amazon
tick.
Prime, it works
Beautiful.
fine on your television.
Yeah, but to
Through
jump your 10 seconds?
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was having no issues with Amazon Prime this week.
Oh, I watch it via the Apple app. My Apple remote doesn't like the 10-second jumps. I don't think.
Do you have the old one? Which remote do you have?
I think it's the new.
Because I've got
Apple.
Okay.
Anyway, what the Raps got to do is play better. And as I said, the ending of quarters, as we all say, they're important. At the end of the first quarter, they ended on a 7-0 run. The Cavs did. I mean,
The first 3 quarters of that game all ended with the Cavs on a run.
Those are important. Going into those huddles when Scotty might be yawning in between quarters, you still got to be able to know that, hey, we finished that quarter well. And I think it did help Donovan Mitchell and James Harden that they didn't have to do anything to start this game. Watch everybody else do their stuff.
No, I know.
Watch Evan Mobley catch an air ball from Dean Wade, and I think that got him going. It always helps for him to just get the ball. They didn't have to do anything. And then Donovan came alive a little bit at the end of the first quarter. But yeah, they weren't pushing it.
No.
Scotty's sleeping. Let them get game 1, maybe, is the mentality in the Raps locker room, and we'll get him in game 2 tonight, Monday night.
I love it. Oh, yeah, they're playing again tonight. That's right. All right, final series here from the NBA weekend. It is the Celtics beating the 76ers pretty handily. Tass, it's just one game, but...
Jason Tatum is the Celtics' best player. Again, because he was for a long time until Jaylen Brown took that title. You know, call it whatever you want. During their finals championship, Jaylen Brown winning the finals MVP, maybe he was the best player, but Jason Tatum looking more like that guy who can put it on the floor, low dribble. You see a double, he can split that thing. And more importantly, the assists were really important. Now, when you watch the Boston Celtics play offense, there's more eyes on Jaylen Brown, and that sure helps when they're throwing their best defender, in this instance, Kelly Oubre, being thrown out on Jaylen Brown while Jason Tatum gets a Paulie G, a Paul George, or whoever to go by. So that's partly why he's in better shape to beat everybody. But the assists, I thought, were just really important. Smart plays. He had 3 to Sam Hauser, which are him flying around screens to get out there at the three-point line. He had 2 to Jaylen Brown. Hilarious stuff to see 2 assists, or just any assist, come from an inbound, which was, hey, you're really good. Just take the ball and back up your guy. And Joe Mazzulla called for that. We got to get Jaylen Brown going, so just give him the ball. And I don't know why that's an assist, but it's an assist. So Jaylen Brown just not having to do a ton in this game because he had a lot of eyes on him, and that helped Jason Tatum. Either way, Jaylen Brown's still the best player or whatever, but Jason Tatum doing a ton in this game. 25, 11 boards, 7 assists, 2 steals. Didn't shoot all that well from 3, but he's looking like himself.
He had 17 in the first half. Jaylen Brown had 16 in the second half. They're both the best player. That's the sweet thing for the Celtics, is that depending on the way the coverages are going and depending on who's drawing the best defender, they've still got a guy who can finish top 5 MVP voting on the other side, which is not something you can say for a lot of teams. But yeah, Tatum was awesome in the first half. They started changing up the way that they were defending him in the second half. So he's like, all right, I'll make the easy play. And Jaylen Brown, you go do your thing. They got good performances from all of their role players as well. And the 76ers just couldn't shoot. 17% from 3, 38% from the field. They're going to have Maxey have like a 40-point game to be able to steal one of these, because that can be somewhere where Philadelphia has success. Like small, super quick guards, they don't have a great matchup for that. Like Derek White is a good defender. Is a great help defender, but a small, quick guard can give him problems. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. That can be something that Philadelphia does well. That did not happen in game one. Hardly any turnovers for the Celtics. And if they're getting shots up every single time, they're probably going to beat you.
Yep. I only have 3 notes from this. First one was I was thinking about you, Tass, watching this game because last week you said, watch Tyrese Maxey and how he gets away with carrying the ball sometimes. And it was funny. There was one in particular in this game where he did the most blatant carry of all time that you could see the Celtics bench going, they're going like this, like, what? Come on. It was sort of not much was happening when he was doing it, I guess, was the officials thinking. I was like, who cares? But anyway, that was one note. Didn't get called for one, though. Back to the instigator draft. I was a little pissed. I had Jaylen Brown as my number 1 pick because I said he's going to get a lot of technicals because he sort of complains a lot, thinks he gets hits a lot, he creates a lot of contact. He was so close to getting a technical in this game with Scott Foster once. He was right up to the edge, and I thought Scott was going to give it to him, but he didn't. Come on, Scott, come through. I would have got the first point in the instigator draft, but yeah, he played great otherwise. And then my final real point was I thought there was a key sequence about halfway through the third quarter. Sixers had started to gain a little momentum, a little bit. They were getting some stops, they were getting some scores. They were still down 15, but they were trying to claw their way back into the game. Brown missed a jumper. Drummond got the rebound. Tyrese Maxey started to leak out. He started to scream down the floor. And Drummond, he went to throw him the pass, and he just didn't throw it far enough. He didn't lead him enough. That's the fastest guy maybe in the league. You could throw it down to the other free throw line. He'll probably get to it. But he didn't, and Brown deflected the outlet pass. They got the steal. He splashed a 3 right away. And then Paul George came down. He forced a jumper way too early in the shot clock. He was contested. Celtics come down, swing, Vooch, 3. And that was like, okay, back to mulching because this one's over.
Back to the bags.
Back to look for a ring that I lost outside. But that, it was big. It was one of those like little plays. It was like, maybe this will be a game. And then it was like, no, back to, there's 6 points like that and you're back to 20 plus. And they cruise from there.
Yeah, you mentioned Vooch. I was wondering why Nick Nurse even doubled him at times. They decided, we're going to double him. Well, that's over when that happens. But speaking to that and the centers, Andre Drummond starting at center here and how he is out there to blow up pick and rolls, like to come on out and he doesn't drop back. That hurts. It just hurts not having Joel Embiid around because they lack some depth. Period. We know that.
Looking like it's going to be a short series, that one. Celtics Sixers. Outside of a Maxey miracle. I'm with you on that.
Need a big Maxey game.
All right, those are all 8 series.
My last note, it doesn't have anything to do specifically with Boston and Philadelphia, but we watched a lot of Amazon, a lot of Peacock this weekend. Are you more likely to watch Balls Up or The Miniature Wife?
Miniature Wife.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the guy from Succession, right?
Guy from Succession.
Yeah, I always forget his name.
Elizabeth Banks, I believe, is the titular wife who is quite small. They love each other. They just have one small problem. That one seems like a series to me.
I think so.
Balls Up, of course, is Mark Wahlberg and Paul Walter Hauser. They get involved with a condom that goes over your nutsack as well. It takes them to Brazil where they somehow end up being chased by some sort of crime syndicate. I don't know. Right. It's Balls Up for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, this looks so dumb. I could maybe watch this.
That one's on Prime, right?
Yeah, it's a Prime job.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with Balls Up as well. I did see the image, the screen for it, the poster for it, whatever you want to call it. I did see Mark Wahlberg's face.
He's the director, yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Which one's the better show?
The Miniature Wife.
And then here's an impossible question to answer. What was your favorite Blake Griffin commercial from the weekend?
My goodness.
This guy's in every commercial.
He's in everything.
That's why you got to use the NBA app. You don't see these the same way I get in arena.
That's true.
I saw Red Panda on back-to-back days.
Oh, wow.
She went from Cleveland to Boston.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Yeah. She's working. But I didn't see as many ads. I had to look up.
Blake Griffin is in, honestly, I'm barely exaggerating.
He's got a FanDuel.
Yeah.
He's got a Wayfair. He's got
Wayfair.
lemon, pepper, wings.
Yes.
That's a Wingstop.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's on Prime Broadcasts.
Yes.
He's just there.
No, he's busy. I guess that's why he didn't
and
come
we
on our
just
show.
had him with Joe Mandy in the March Madness with was that AT&T the whatever those their guys thing. So that sort of has led into this. Man, there's so many.
I think my favorite
making money.
My favorite one is the one where he's at the bar and like Luis Guzman.
Oh yeah,
not Felix Solis is behind the bar and he's like, "You ever make a three in the playoffs?" He's like, 29, brother.
Yeah.
Of course, I looked it up. He's made 29 threes.
I was like,
it's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's why Blake didn't come on our show. He's busy making other ads because we almost had him on our show, sort of, kind of. Come on over, Blake. You won't have to do an ad. No, he's busy.
We're making him do
the FanDuel ad read. Yeah.
Oh, the FanDuel ad read. Yeah. What is his FanDuel ad? I don't even know. It's just
it's that one. It's like it's like I'm in the playoffs. Yeah, I'm rebounding. I'm doing this.
It's wild. Every commercial break, he's in one or two. Like, it's all the time. Well, speaking of, I guess, sponsored things, Woodley of the night, sponsored by Elevate Your Books. Do you want financial help with your business? Yes. Robert Crowe is a small business owner looking to assist other small businesses with his bookkeeping business, Elevate Your Books. Robert has gone through this, guys. He knows how to help. Let him help you at ElevateYourBooksLLC.com. We'll get that link in the show notes.
It's there on YouTube.
All right, there you go. Elevate Your Books. Thank you, Robert Crowe. Appreciate it. Maybe Blake Griffin will do an ad for you. Commercial for Elevate Your Books. Jason Tatum, to go back to him, we sort of ended all the series talks with him. 25 points, 11 rebounds in game one. 9 of 17 from the field, 6 of 6 at the line, 7 assists, 2 steals, committed just 1 turnover in 32 minutes. So, yeah, there was some, I find when you get to the playoffs, you get a lot of like big lines in losses. And that's fine. And that's fine in Wobo. I considered Cade. I considered Avdia. I mean, Wemby had a good line. He had a lot of points. He actually didn't really fill up the box score with like rebounds or assists. So I went Tatum. Good game from him. Good efficiency.
He's good.
The 3 finalists for each NBA award dropped yesterday, and we know that the winners will be announced starting this week. And so they're going to space this out all week long. You'll be jumping around all your streaming platforms to find out these things. But we start tonight with Defensive Player of the Year. And so, I mean, look, we've gone long here. We'll address these as they announce them.
Okay.
There were a few surprises. I guess some people were like, what? How did they not make a top 3 on a particular award? But for the most part, one of the winners of these eventual awards are obviously in the running. So there wasn't too many like, oh my God, the guy I thought was going to win the thing is not even in the top 3. You know what I mean? So, and that's some of them. And we'll get to like MVP and some of the other bigger ones later, I guess.
I like that they're just like, we're going to tweet out the Sportsmanship Award.
Yeah.
I am putting that on TV. Check at NBA PR.
But Wemby will get DPOI tonight, and we'll find out whether it's unanimous or not.
That's right. Reggie said death taxes and Victor Wembanyama winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay. Yeah,
it's true.
Look, if he plays whatever the game requirement is going to be moving forward, if it stays 65, every time he gets it, I don't see how he would not win this. He's pretty impactful on that end. All right, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about tonight's 3 games. Raps, Cavs, Hawks, Knicks, Wolves, Nuggets. Of those 3, whose chances do you like the most to tie it up 1-1? Do you like the Raptors, the Hawks, or the Wolves, those 3 road teams?
Well, I don't like the Raptors.
Yeah.
Yep. Out of the 3, here's my pick. Not the Raptors.
Okay. Wow, Jesus.
The other ones I think are fairly even for me, whether it's the Hawks or the Wolves.
Give me the Wolves.
Okay. Sure. We'll find out tonight. Those are all on Peacock. They're all on the Cock, and the latter 2 are on NBC proper. And if you're an NBA app guy like Tass, they're all there too. Yeah.
Go get them. I will not be watching the awards. I will say one thing. Sorry, where are the awards? I say I won't be watching them. Maybe
I think they were on Peacock, I guess. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
I think it's what it said.
Just an announcement.
Just an announcement.
Well, no, they might have Wemby on and
in
stuff,
the pregame.
right?
Yeah, they might.
Sure,
I would assume they will.
Via Zoom.
It's on NBC too.
You could see those Victor Solomons.
Yes.
I'll be out.
I was going to talk about the trophy ceremony that the OKC had before Game 1. Okay, I'll mention it. Most conference wins was what the trophy said. So most wins in the Western Conference. Okay. Then they unveil the banner. No, it wasn't a pull it off. Pull it off is for the entire NBA. Yeah. And then they dropped the banner for winning the division. So most conference wins. Then the division banner all happened.
Wow. You're catching all of this on the NBA app.
That's what I'm telling you.
Wow. What a plug for it.
Arena.
Incredible. All right, guys, back tomorrow. We are fully into the playoffs now. Hit the like button, subscribe, 5-star ratings and reviews. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, just like life, the outlook on an NBA playoff series can change dramatically.
Brace today, people.